Okay, I thought today I would start installing a different kind of system. I have a rack battery that I'm going to install here. I'll go ahead and keep these in here for now, but I'll put the rack battery next to it here. I'm going to have to figure out what I want to do about my CO sensor down here. I'm going to have to move it. But anyway, for now, I've got for a fuse panel, I got one of these things here. I'm going to try and get that screwed into the wall here real quick. So I got most of the wiring, if not all of it. I got a few connectors I got to go pick up that came in the other day. So we'll get started on it today though. See where we can go with it, and then I'll go get the rest of the stuff in a little bit. See what we got here. Okay. So I need to hook up line in and line out and my ground, and then I need to actually pound a ground rod into the ground outside here, and I got a spare one. And that way I can actually drill through and run a ground wire outside and ground the system. So we'll probably be doing that this week too. So clear back here, you got your battery connections I got to feed through. And then I've got a PV that I'm going to hook up there. And I've got my AC line out. AC line in, I believe I can hook up a generator there. And I've got cable to run, so I can hook my generator up right there. We'll start wiring this up this week. I'm going to get online. I'm going to get my 2 AWG battery cable, and I get the welding style cable because it's a better quality than the standard battery cables. So I'm going to get that online. So this one is going to be overkill. Eventually I'll remove this and use it in the shop because that's originally what I bought it for. This is perfect for in here, but I need to hook this up now. This is for my PV. My PV wiring is down at my feet, but it comes in the wall back here and works its way over here. So by putting this here, for example, I'll be able to either hook up to this upper leg or the bottom leg. I'll probably hook up to this bottom leg because it's more of a direct if I do it like that to right here, unless I wanted to go lower with this. But I'm going to keep this up here. So it's just at a nice height for on and off if I wanted to ever turn it off. Unlikely. But then I can just wire it right into the PV hook up here. Short runs. Be nice. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in real quick. That's a good sign. Let's see if we can push on through. Yep. Now, now that I'm close to this, I may have to take it off temporarily and get through here. I wonder if I can. That'll work. So anyways, that's where the ground wire is going to come through. I'll have to seal around it to keep the critters from coming. As I recall, this is a really rocky area right down here. Pretty good sized rock there. We're not even at any more than 30 inches. And I'm already hitting issues. Alright folks, hopefully you can see what I'm going to do here. So I've got the hole on this end down to 30 inches. I dug a ditch along here and tried digging down. I kept hitting rock, and I couldn't dig it down to lay it perfectly flat. So I checked to confirm I can put it in an angle, and I'm hoping that I can do that. I got a lot of rock in here. I don't even know. I've got a spot I just picked out to try to punch through. It's a lot more angle than I need to be in, but we'll do it. Let's see if we can't get that to work. So I'm cheating, and it's not as good as I want, because where I wanted to be was right here. Go straight up into the hole I drilled in the wall. Now I got to go up here, go straight up over and in. Before I put this down on the ground, I'll curl that. It's 12 feet of wire, so hopefully it'll make it, since this isn't exactly the way I'd planned it. Alright, so I'm going to hook up inside, then I'll come out here and run this however it's going to best run. I'm thinking diagonally is the only way I'm going to be able to do it. This is all they had left in the store, 12 foot. See if I can't get this bent and put up into here. Yeah, it's out of the way though. That'll work. So that's the ground for the system. I have another ground right here. That's what this one's going to go to. And then, of course, that's going to run over to this other power box. But that should do it. We are grounded. we go. And I can bring this on up. And I should be able to there we go. Alright, before I button this up, and I'll be getting in the way of the light a little bit, but I just wanted to show you, I went ahead and wired this up. So I've got my wiring right here. So what I have is my neutral and my line wire right here. And then I got my ground wire. I ran up from here into here. So this is basically going to take my direct current and make a AC run to this box. And that's what that inverter is going to do. It's going to convert the 48 volt to 110 power essentially. So I'll hook this on up. This has got my breakers, and we'll go ahead and seal this thing up here. Alright, there we go. Now we've got our power hooked up there. And let's move on to putting the PV hookup on and getting it plugged in here. Then it'll have solar to it whenever I have actual sunlight. So what I got to do next to get power in here to this, for now, is to run my generator power to it, to the input side. AC line in and neutral. Once those are in, I'll do those after I get the PV done though. I'll get the PV done. Let's get that hooked up right now. Just make sure they're really snug, then give them a good tug. Okay. Okay. Got a tool for this, make sure it's tight. Okay. Went ahead and cut off the end. I left the tag just in case I ever want to reuse this. I can reuse it now instead of throwing it away. So I sliced down this, pull the wiring out of here, and that's more than I need. I didn't want to do much more than that, but let's go Go ahead and get this cleaned off here. I'll strip them after I get them pushed through the wall. I got to drill through the wall, so I'm going to go get a bit. And we'll move forward on this. All right, go ahead and go on inside and pull it on through, and then I'll anchor it on down out here, straight down, and figure out where I'm going to put the generator. Okay. Okay, there we go, all wired up. So, battery cables are the only thing I'm still waiting for. I'll check that a little later, see if they're here. This is Thursday, so this is going to be the breaker between the battery and this unit here, and that'll be one more protection device. It's pretty heavy duty, way more than I need for in here, but I'll use it for now. I gotta get the battery cables next in order to complete the attachment here to this. Here. Well, let's take a look. I picked these up last night. This should be my battery cables, so we can finish hooking up the solar. There should be 2 gauge. need to screw this back into the wall. Main star. Time to open it. As I am unboxing this, I should mention Vatrer is running their Black Friday promotion right now through December 5th. And this rack battery is included in that sale. So if you're thinking about upgrading your system or starting one like this, this is honestly the best time of the year to grab it so you can get it at a discount. I'll have their links and any current deals down in the description for you. Box within a box. Well, let's try something here. So it's well packaged and protected. That's awesome. Get that vacuum suction. There we go. All right, so eventually these will get plugged in up here, but for now they're in the way, but that's okay. So I'm basically centering these two with that. There. All right. All right, something I didn't show you. I've got the instructions here for it. That comes with the battery. Some brackets, so if you have it rack mounted. And it does come with battery cables, but these are 4-aught. I'm going with 2-aught because I plan to expand the system at some point. So for now, that can all be put away. All right, we're going to pre-charge the system. So ultimately, I'm going to use a resistor. You can pick these up for around $6. We're going to flip, make sure this is off. Flip this on. Now we're going to go ahead and touch this to the cable and to the battery. Actually, let's make sure the battery's on. And then we'll do about 10 to 12 seconds here. And there could be a little spark. And there was a little spark. Now, let's fire up the rest of this. I need to turn this on. Okay, so now it is on. All right, so hopefully you can see that. It's at 52% for the Vatrer. There we go. You can touch screen, you can move it. 100 amp hour. It gives you the temperature right now. Status is normal. Section 3 is showing the balance of all the cells inside of it, and they're all within about 1 to 2. They're all balancing out, so it's looking good. Click back, we'll be at the beginning. So that's looking good. Let's go ahead and fire up the inverter. Okay, I've got everything powered up here. I'm showing power on here. So every one of these switches is on and ready to roll. It's getting power from this. I do have to charge this still. I haven't tried it out yet because I'm a little nervous, but I think I'll wait till tomorrow and I'll fire up the generator and fire it up. I want to do some research and make sure I've got everything totally dialed in properly going out the wall here, and I'm pretty sure I do. I just want to make sure I can just fire it up and let it rip with this already on. I've got all the settings preset. All right, I got a 4-foot light right here. Let's plug it in and see what happens here. That works. We are powered up. Let me go ahead and turn that back off here real quick. All right, I don't know if you can see, but I got a 51% charge on this, so it's discharging right now. Okay, I thought I would go through some of the settings on this inverter for this particular battery that I did. So we got to go into the gear here, and this is basically showing you we're in the menu. So arrow up. I have this first one set to mixed load, so that'll convert between 110, like from a generator, to solar. So that's number 2. I've got that to a 60 output, and that's a US version. I think if you're like in Europe, it'd be at 50. Number 3, I have it set to the AC input voltage, UPS. I think that's standard is how it, so I didn't change that. On number 4, I left it as it is, 43.6. And number 5, I also left at 57.6 volts. I changed number 6 to hybrid, so that way it can run off either the generator or the solar, depending on the situation. So number 7, I set it at max at 60 amps. Number 8, I set for user defined. You could set it up for lithium ion batteries if you look in the manual. I set it up for this. Number 9 is the boost voltage, 56.8. Number 10 I left. Number 11 is the float voltage. I put it at 56.8. Number 12 is over discharge voltage, set at 42. Set the time limit to 5 seconds on number 13. Number 14 is 44 volts. That's when the alarming would start at that level when I get down there. 15 is at 40 discharge. Let's go up to 22. So number 22, I put at ENA, with 23 is overload. 24, auto start. And then up to 28. I had to set 28 for my generator cord. I'm going to put it at, here, hit that. I'm going to put it at 15 amps. That should do the trick for that. There's nothing else I'm going to do. That's all I'm going to do on this. Everything else I'm leaving. There's a ton of things you can do, but I don't need to. So now that we have that, need to go back. I'm down to, let me show you here. All right, I left it on all night. So we're down from, I think it was 54 or 56%, and we're down to 39%. So there was some discharge overnight, which I knew there would be. So now I got to charge up the system. So why don't we go outside? I'll move the generator over and we'll fire it up and see how it works. Okay, I'm gonna run this 4,500 watt generator. I'm running on propane, so it'll run less power. I think more like I think steady will be around 3,200 watts. But I got everything choked down so I don't overdo this cable. Let's get it fired up and see. We'll go inside and check it out and see if everything works okay. Giving it a minute to steady itself. I charged up the other system, so it's pretty warm. Otherwise, I'd give it a couple minutes, but let's just plug her in. So we're getting a charge. Looking at the battery here, current's at 14.2, voltage at 53.75. Temperature for it is at 61.1. We're inside, so let's see here. Temperature inside the building is 60 degrees even, Fahrenheit. Time to fill, it says 4 hours, 18 minutes at this rate. Let's go up and look at the inverter. We're getting 53.8 volts on the inverter showing here. So looks good, everything's working as normal. You can see the blinking over here to the right. That means it's charging. So everything's looking good, I think. All right, folks, so it looks like everything's powered up good. The generator worked fantastic. I've ran some loads on it, nothing extravagant. It works great. The solar's too small to charge that battery. I've got 800 watts down below. I'm going to go look at the panels and compare them to the panels I already have and see if they match all the specs. If they do, I'm going to pick up another one of the solar sun trackers, and I'll put one of those up this spring or summer, and I'll move the other 800 watts up and see if 1600 watts will work for now in the cabin. May as well bring it up and start using it. I can always transfer it back down there if I decide to go a different way with powering this tiny cabin. But if I can get by for now, powering with that, I will do that. I won't need power down there until I get the spring developed. And I need to get power up here on the shop, which won't happen until I've built the cover over the patio. And that's where the other power is going to go. And it all takes money. It's all going to take me time. I'm on a limited income, but at least I have an income now, which I haven't had all year. So I'm finally back in the game. Anyways, the system works excellent. I love it. I'm going to get another. Eventually, I'd like to have 2 more 5,000 watt batteries, rack batteries in here. I have a total of 3. But I'll probably do it in stages. I'd like to at least get 1 more, so I have 2. So I got 1, and we'll work with that. It's a little less power than I had in there originally, but I still have that power in there too. So I have 11,000 watts in there right now, even though it's 2 different power systems. So right now, my solar is hooked back up to the other system where the Vatrer has to be charged with my generator until I get enough panels up here. So that's kind of a bummer, but that's more progress we'll see in the future. I'll be showing you, especially if I get another solar sun tracker. I'll show you how that works. I know they make an updated version now, but I don't really need it since I've already got one that's just the standard one. I may as well get a second standard one. I guess that's it on this part. We're going to go back and trim the windows out here, okay? And then after that's done, I think next week I'll work on shingling, or whatever you want to call it, shakes, putting shakes up on the other gable end and getting that done. I just wanted to note that Vatrer sponsored this channel this week. They gave me that battery. I had to go buy all the other components, and that took me time, so they graciously let me hold on to that thing for 3 months before doing the video. So I really appreciate their patience with me. It was well worth the wait to me. Thank you, Vatrer. Let's do a second one. And then I gotta cut my angles. Alright, that'll put that the same as the other. I don't remember the exact angle I had. I think tomorrow I'll double check that. That'd be the way to go. And then I'll pick one of those and I'll cut my angle. I did that earlier in the week, last week. I guess I'll put that right here. Should be the same. Yep, we're good. We're good. Okay, folks, officially done. Got these two corners done. That really finished it off nicely. This is what I'm going to do to the other side. Exactly. Now I have a plan. The other side should go faster, because before this was all, well, what if, trial and error, you know, that kind of stuff. So I'm very pleased with how it turned out. Try the windows out, see if they'll fit. They ought to. Nice. But yeah, I think that looks good. I gotta stand back and look at it, see. It's hard to tell right up in your face. All right, folks, thank you for watching. And Vatrer, thank you very much for supporting my channel this week and sending me the rack battery. I love it. I'm going to enjoy using it, and we'll be upgrading later. So for those of you that have watched it, I hope you got something out of this as far as for a actual off-grid solar setup, not a portable one. And other than that, if you're interested in buying it, I will have links provided down below for the sale that's going on right now till the 5th of December. Thanks again for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please give me a thumbs up, and we'll update you throughout time as I work with this all winter long in here. So that'll be nice. I can't really keep anything solar out here in the workshop. I'll have to bring my portables out there when I need to do work, because I got to keep them up to temp. They don't work as soon as it gets down to freezing. I'm cold enough here now, I'm freezing. In fact, we're going to be getting snow this week. And I think now that the snow is going to start rolling in December, or before December, end of November here, I think it's going to stick around. And I'm expecting the snow to get really deep this year. We're expected to get hit hard. So we'll see how that works out. I'm going to have to get out here and keep trails shoveled so that, you know, I can keep them kind of decent to get to and from the shop, because we're going to do a lot of work this winter in the shop. And I got to get some heat in there. So I'm working on that right now. And we'll be talking about the heat source I'm going to put in there a little later. Thanks again. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Enjoy it with friends and family. Take care and have a good weekend. Bye.